Hi there. I have the pleasure to talk to Magdalena Atanassova, which she is a Macom and Brand Manager for the PCO Kinesh from Israel, Tel Aviv. And Magdalena is an event professional for decades, I must say. Correct me.
15 years about.
15 years. Yeah, this is the time. Magdalena, today I wanted to talk with you about the role of the medical associations in congresses, because in the aftermath of the corona pandemic, many structures have been questioned. And at the moment, everyone is shouting, "Yeah, hybrid! Let's go hybrid!" And hybrid is sort of the new battle cry for the event industry. But as I know that Kinesh is having a study which you shared with me. You had in your study. You asked the participants for the first time what they are expecting during virtual or digital congresses, and high relevant and high potential content is one of the most asked for needs for the participants. So what were your experiences with doing congresses without medical association, who claim for themselves of being just the cradle of relevant content?
Yeah, well, thanks for the question. I mean, it's interesting because I still believe that associations have their role and their importance in the medical field, medical and scientific field, where we are mostly operating at Kenes. So while we still have that in mind and we work with quite a few associations, we saw that there is a need to fill in a gap when it comes to topics that are new. They're very hot topics, but they're either don't have the traction to take up a full conference or even to make it an event track in some big organizations. So we saw that little gap there, because there are people interested in this topic, but maybe not enough for big organizations to look at and devote time and resources to that. So we said, okay, without clashing with our association clients, of course, we don't want to do that, but can we kind of answer these people that have this need? And that's how we started our original events, which is, events that we organize, we own. We don't do with any association behind. So we pretty much look for key opinion leaders that can help us develop event brand that satisfies such kind of a topic. We've been doing that for a few decades already, and lately we've really started pushing it as something to invest in more internally, if you may, as a company, and also because we saw that as time develops, maybe it became more relevant for the ears of opinion leaders right out there, because for everything there's time and date kind of that you can address it more loudly. So we have that kind of division right now, and it's working with quite a few events which are mostly going quite well. They're not big in terms of sizes. While association events may be a few thousand people, our original events are 200, 300, 400 people, which is kind of a normal size that we expect and that we're going for. But so far, the feedback that we get is amazing. And of course, right now, many or all of them are turning virtual because that's the need, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this leads to the second question. So, because we are experience a forced digitalization, I would call it, and what has changed to your business of doing congresses in the way that you described it due to this forced digitalization?
In terms of our business, a lot has changed because we don't go on site anymore, unfortunately. Um, but I can say pretty much it changes the delivery of the content and the delivery of the event. Also, the design of the whole event. Before we were thinking in-person design, how can we make it engaging? How can we make it attractive for people? While right now everything is virtual, so we have to think, how do we make this, how do we produce an event online? The design is completely different. While maybe for the very first event that we turned virtual, which was an original event of ours, we had only 3 weeks, so we pretty much translated it one to one because we didn't have the time and if we made the brain power to do more. But we saw pretty quickly that shouldn't be the way. And of course, we know from the past, because virtual has been around for many, many years, even
Right.
if not in this
More than 10
scale.
years, yeah. Yeah,
For sure, yeah.
yeah,
So of course, the design has to be structured differently.
absolutely.
And while we tried with the first event to keep it as it was in terms of structure of the program, having hundreds of speakers to record and convert that to virtual, right now it has changed to, okay, we're just producing virtual events. The design thinking is completely different, and we have to work closely with our clients, all the association, also for our original events, to recreate that in a sense that makes sense for the delegates while they're attending a virtual event. Also, they're getting much more um, well experienced or more sophisticated when it comes to virtual events. In April, they were very generous to us with our first quick turnover, in under 3 weeks. But right now they've seen more, they expect more, they request more, they know what they can get. So that also pushes us to deliver better and better each time.
Right. And as you are in the situation that you are used to work without a medical association in the background, because I sometimes see it with the PCOs that they find the medical association a little bit, stopping the innovation in this. Do you think there is, in the future, looking to the future, do you think there is still a need for having medical associations being the cradle of high relevant and high scientific content?
Yeah,
Do we
actually,
need medical associations at all?
actually, I believe we do. I believe the question is not if we need them, but how they should change to satisfy the needs of their
Right,
members in a better
right.
way. Because we've seen that also in we have our association management division who are working closely with associations, and they keep track of all the trends that go in terms of nonprofit organizations, how they should be structured. And there is a lot of trends and there's a lot of push for evolution. So for sure, we also actually saw it in the survey that you referred to with healthcare professionals. We saw that for them it's very important the content provider. So they do check kind of, is this event really certified by an association that I know and trust, or a provider that I know and trust? So this matters, and I think for associations that it's actually a great time right now that they can really push themselves and really evolve, as we are all doing, by the way. I mean, I don't think it's unique for associations, but for them it's a good time to really show their standing. And we've been seeing it with all the associations we're working with, that they really think more in terms of the digital content, how they can deliver it better, to have smaller chunks of information easily accessible by doctors, and then the bigger and broader topics, that you can really have a deep dive in it. So yeah, for sure. I don't think they're going anywhere. we also don't want them to go anywhere, no matter if we are, initiating regional events and trying to start conversations elsewhere. It doesn't mean that we don't believe in associations in any way.
Right. So in saying so, the sun is coming out in Berlin.
Yeah.
This is like a sign.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you, Magdalena. Short Maggie.
Yes.
And yes, it was a pleasure talking to you. And if you, listener to the LinkedIn channel, want to know a little bit about the survey that Kinesh did with the participants of the Digital Congress, which is absolutely interesting for the industry, asked her, and she will send you the presentation. Will you?
Will do.
So, thank you, Magdalena.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.